Hello everyone. Right, let me just make sure this camera is positioned in a way that I don't. Ooh, okay, I think that should be okay. Um, I'm live. I'm hopefully in the right place. Ooh, it's always this challenge, isn't it? Am I doing it right? Am I in the right place? Hopefully, if someone pops on, that would be lovely if you could let me know if I am in the right place. Excuse my baggy eyes. I've had 2 hours of sleep last night. Oh, Nicola is here. Hello. I was just saying, my baggy eyes. I had 2 hours of sleep last night, and my plan for later today is go to bed and get some sleep. Because last night was a bit of a challenging one, but that's fine. I'm used to it now. Okay, so I'm gonna give it another second or two and wait and see if anyone joins us, and we will crack on. We will talk about the 5 money blocks. I find it so weird that it's totally not relevant to what I'm gonna be talking about. Oh, it's really warm outside as it is just now, hence my clothes. I still want to drink my hot tea and hot coffee, and I don't know why, because I should really be craving something really cold, and I'm not. Anyway, right, I think we'll crack on. We've got half an hour to talk about money blocks, and I think that's one of my favorite subjects when it comes to starting with people, when it comes to working with money, because this is the thing that most people talk about, but actually not everyone tells you how to overcome those money blocks. They will tell you, yes, there is a money block, yes, you've got some, or you will recognize you've got some, but that's pretty much it. And I'm going to give you some hints and tips and things that you can work with starting today, and they are going to be easy to action, because for me it's all about simplicity. It's about making sure that you guys do things rather than that it gets too complicated and too overwhelming and you just decide this isn't for me, it's not working, I can't do it. So it's gonna be very easy. Now if you're here and if you're watching live, put some comments in, just let me know you're here. If you're watching the replay again, put the hashtag replay so that I know that you're watching it as well. Okay, so before we crack on in terms of diving into specific money block, we'll start with what are the money blocks, because again the description is so vague and so different from one person to another. For me, the money block is basically something that is holding you back, something that you've got. Oh, hi Louise. Something that you've got in you. Maybe you are actually not even realizing that you've got it, because money blocks are those seeds, tiny little seeds that have been planted in you when before you were born, when you were born, during your childhood, and they are now growing slowly, fast, depends on a seed. But they are there, and you might not even be aware that you've got them. So for me, working on your money blocks is mainly about awareness and actually catching yourself thinking, why am I thinking this? What is this? And that for me, that was the biggest thing that I've discovered with myself. I've discovered that I was saying quite often things, I can't afford it. And I'm like, why are you saying this to yourself? Why are you creating this for yourself? But it was part of me. It was so natural for me that I didn't even pay attention to the fact that I was saying it. I was just saying it. It was like a habit. And overcoming this was a massive change for me in my life. So if you got things like this and you'll spot them here, pay attention. Pay attention to what you're saying to yourself and how you're framing your reality when it comes to money. What else? Money blocks will very often sabotage you in a very sneaky way because they are subconscious, so you don't know about them. A new level means always a new block. It's not that you will work on your money blocks this week and they will go away. You will have to work on it forever, like constantly. It's like peeling an onion. There's always a new layer in there. And I find it really exciting, really fascinating, and really good to see new clients go from one level to another and hit another block, which is a really good thing. Right, the key is awareness and course correction. That's what I said before. So let's start with the 5 blocks. So the 5 blocks I'm going to be talking to you about are the receiving block, the value block, overflow block, 2M block or a money comfort zone block, and the final one is overgiving block. Now, lesson, don't take notes because it will be all recorded and you'll be able to watch it on replay again. But just pay attention, and maybe if something is like an aha moment, then write it down. Yeah, don't try to write down everything because you will be concentrating on not what I'm saying, but on writing instead. Okay, receiving block. So receiving block is a very, very typical one and very common one for women. It's the one when someone pays you a compliment and says, you've got a very nice dress today, and you're like, it's an old one, or I got it on sale. It didn't cost me that much. You basically make them feel like it wasn't really a nice comment to say, and you're backing off from the compliment. When you are the first one to pay for things, when you go to a restaurant and you're the first one to pick up the bill, when you want to do things for free for people, or you want to be affordable, and when you're not being able to ask for help. So some of the symptoms, there's so many more, but obviously we're limited to half an hour here, and I want to touch on the points that are most common, that I'm seeing most often with people. Receiving block is one that is having a knock-on impact on your cash and business. Because when you think about it, if you're closing yourself to receiving, no cash will come your way. And this is just the energy. Money is energy, exchange of energy. So if you've got energy trapped in you that is to do with receiving, then money cannot come your way. It's just not possible. You need to clear that energy first in order to receive money. Apologies if this is shaking a bit. I've got it on my lap because it's comfy. Right. So this block is very often connected to how we see ourselves, how we value ourselves, our own self-worth, our own confidence, and what stories we've got about ourselves from our life. If we were told as a kid that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, this is running through our head, and this is becoming our reality. And this is your money block as well, because you are transposing this I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy onto your money situation. And becoming aware is crucial. It's so important, because then you can stop it and you can say, oh, hold on, why am I saying this to myself? Is this true? No, it's not. Why do I believe it? It's a really good thing to actually find out whose belief it is, if you've got a belief. So if you catch yourself with a belief that you don't like, sit on it for a while and work out where it's come from. I had so many beliefs that my mom, my dad, my granddad passed on to me, and I thought they were mine. But then when I started looking into it, it was like, no, they are not. So like the classic one for almost everyone is working hard. You have to work hard for your money. And that's what my granddad used to say for me all the time. And it's not something that I believe in, but I was saying it because subconsciously it was still in my head. It was the seed that was planted in my head. So I was keep on talking about it, but I didn't believe in it myself. So once I cleared it, it's gone, and it made my life so much easier. Practice saying thank you. When someone pays you a compliment, just say thank you and smile and accept the compliment. This is the best thing you can do when it comes to receiving. Pay yourself compliments. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful, or you're beautiful, and say thank you. And now you will smile. Eventually you will smile. It might be difficult at the beginning, but you will smile eventually, and it will make it so much easier for you. What else? Automate your cash collection in business. So if you're a business owner, and everyone here is, you will struggle if you've got this money block with asking people for money, with chasing your debt. If people owe you money and you have to send them an email, that will be a nightmare for you. Automate it, get systems in place that can do it for you, so you don't have to worry about it, because what's the point? And make sure you use daily gratitude and be thankful for what you've already got, because that will help you with receiving more. This always starts with what we've got at the moment. Okay, the next block is the value block. I'm just going to look at the time just to make sure we're on track. Yeah, the value block. So it's the second one, and it's actually very connected to the first one. The value block is when you are not increasing your prices, when you really want to be affordable, when you self-sabotage yourself, you procrastinate, you self-doubt yourself, you are very aware and not happy to promote your own services. You kind of expect people to come your way, like through an osmosis, and work with you without you telling them out loud what you do. If you don't like being visible, for example, all of those symptoms are connected to the value block. And although sometimes it feels like they are not connected, because when you think about it, how does me being visible on social media has got something to do with my own value block? Well, it has a lot, because me showing up means I have to be really confident, I have to value myself, I have to believe in myself to be able to do it. And this is where the own value comes, right? I hope it all makes sense. Please let me know if it doesn't, and I'll try to explain it better. When you say to yourself, who am I to charge that much? No one will pay me so much for what I'm doing. When you charge £5-10 for something that other people charge £100 or £200 for, yeah, this is all connected to your own value block, and it's so easy to get over it, so easy to work with it. Again, the first thing I would recommend would be gratitude list, and listing everything that you're grateful for in your life. Do it daily, because daily gratitude makes, oh my god, it's such a game changer. Now, second thing, I would start using affirmations, but be careful, because affirmations can work both ways. Use affirmations that you actually believe in. Use things that are easy for you to believe. So, for example, don't use affirmation that says I'm a millionaire if you're not, and if you're far off from being a millionaire, your brain will self-sabotage you immediately. It will tell you, no, you're not, no, you're not. And this is the affirmation that will have a knock-on impact, quite the opposite knock-on impact to what you want to achieve. So use the affirmations that you really believe in. For example, I value myself, I trust myself, I love myself, I am worthy. People like paying me. People like paying me a lot. People always pay me on time. Those are small things, but they can make a massive, massive difference to the way you think about your own value, yourself, and your money mindset. Read through the testimonials from your clients. Now, if you have a bad day, and we all have them, let's face it, if you have a bad day and you doubt yourself, doubt your abilities, doubt how much you're bringing to the world, just go back to your testimonials from your clients, and I can guarantee that your life will be so much better immediately. The day will change, but we don't do it. We just, file those testimonials, put them on site, and use them on social media from time to time. But do you ever actually pay attention to what people are telling you? Do you ever go through it and give yourself a pat on the back, say, yeah, I actually did it, I'm really good? If you don't, the own value block is something you would need to explore a bit deeper and look into it. Treat yourself. This is another way to overcome step by step your own value block. Go for a spa weekend. Go for a coffee in Costa rather than working from home. Treat yourself to a nice coffee one day. Why not? This is all increasing your own perception of yourself. This is all increasing the value of yourself, and it will just work wonders when you start talking to clients about increasing prices, about getting more money out of them. That didn't sound good, did it? It's not what I meant. It's meant getting people to pay you more money. If you know exactly what I mean. The own value block, once you overcome this one, this is probably the biggest one, and the one that has got the biggest impact on you. When you overcome this one, you become so much more confident, so much more happy, and you will attract clients in a different way. Guaranteed, honestly guaranteed. Right, next one was the overflow block. So the overflow block is when you're actually making money, making good money. Susie, okay. Got you. Yeah, I got you here. We are all the same. We don't read them, but we should. We really should. Imagine how your day would look like if, before you crack on with work with your clients, you actually read a couple of testimonials. As simple as this, right? Make it part of your morning routine, and that will change the way you look at work, you look at yourself, the way you show up. It will change absolutely everything. Guaranteed, because I know it works, because I've tested it on myself and I still do it. Right, overflow block, back to where I was. Overflow block is when you're actually making money in business. You're making more or less what you want, or you're making actually more than you want, but at the end of the month there's nothing to show up for it, and the money just comes and goes, right? And it sometimes works in very mysterious ways. So for example, you've made $5,000 this month, your goal was to make 3, you've made 5, and then suddenly your washing machine breaks and you have to spend all of it or most of it. Things like this. Watch yourself or catch this happening to you. Your car breaks, you have to pay some penalties. Whatever happens, if the money is being taken away from you, it means you cannot keep excess money. When you feel guilty that you've got cash, that you've got more cash than you should, when you think about other people who are struggling and you feel like I shouldn't have that much cash in my bank account, that's an overflow block as well. When you don't have any investments, you don't have cash for a buffer, so for emergencies. I don't like calling them rainy day funds because that's not right. And I'll explain another day. It's a long story. But if you've got cash buffer, so money sitting aside for opportunities, for things that can come your way, if you don't have it, it means it suggests that you're struggling with this overflow block. So what I would recommend doing, what I would start off by doing is on a regular basis, take stock of where you are. And I know people hate it because it's to do with money, it's to do with numbers, and people are generally blah about numbers and money. But if you can, pay attention to where you are every month or every week. Start planning cash better. Do your cash flow forecast on a weekly basis. That will create this new vibration in your head about, oh, okay, more cash is coming. What can I do with it? If savings is your problem, start with creating a separate bank account for savings and just put £10 there this month and then put £20 in there next month. See what number you're comfortable with and just put it aside and forget about it. And then at the end of the month, do your summary, do your reconciliation of this is where I am at the end of the month, and see that, oh, I've got £50 in this bank account. How does it make you feel? If it makes you feel uncomfortable, then there's work to be done. If it makes you feel happy, increase the value and grow and grow and grow. And overflow block is a really weird one because it affects a lot of people who are very, very wealthy. So a lot of people who are making really good money, they've got this block and they don't realize they've got this block. So every month they make good money, they spend a lot of money, they are overworking, working harder because I need to be making even more if I want to be having more. It doesn't work this way. If you end up working even more, then you end up spending even more because you're not ready to have overflow in your business, in your life. Get over and work on the money block first before you go ahead with working more hours because it's not going to work. It's going to backfire at you. Right, that takes me nicely to block number 4, which is called 2M block or a money comfort zone block. This is a block which is very, very common for people who actually were employed and then started their self-employment journey. And quite often, and you will notice it for yourself if you pay attention to any trends in your business, you will have a month that is 4K, then the next month is 3K, then the next month is 5K. And you kind of keep on staying within this range between 3 and 5K. So your money maximum is 5K, your money minimum is 3K. And unless you actually work on the block and train your brain, you will stay within this range. Yes, you might go up 1 month to 5, but then you will go down to 3 to compensate for it. And your subconscious will not allow you to go away from this bracket because that's the only bracket it feels safe in. It's the only bracket it knows. The reason why I said it's very common for employees is because when I left employment, for example, let's say I was making 3K per month and I really struggled to make more than 3K in my business. Yes, I would have a month when I made 4 and then I would make 2. So the balance was still 3K per month because I was being told that what I do is not worth more than 3K. Not a true story in terms of this is not right, I can make more than 3K, but it was so engraved in my brain, I believed it to be true. And I did absolutely everything I could in my life, in my business, to make sure that I get the 3K. Strange how it works, but this is how it is. Right, so how to deal with it if you've noticed that you might have it. decide that you will up your block, your maximum. Decide. I know the decision is quite hard, but do some affirmations and do some journaling and do some writing around this. And even start affirming that, I feel comfortable and I feel safe making 6 grand rather than 5. If your kind of maximum is 5 at the moment, up it just a bit, just a little, and see how it goes. And then up it again and up it again. And this way you train your brain to deal with bigger numbers, to be comfortable with bigger numbers, and to make more money, basically. The other thing that you could do with this block is actually plan how you will spend this. Now, I ask this my clients very often. If your goal is 10K a month, how are you going to spend this money? And very often they go into, no idea. Some of them will have a plan for the first month, but then the second month, they will have no clue what to do with the money. So how are you expecting to get the money if you don't know what to do with it? Money loves direction. Money loves a plan. It loves to be told what to do. So if you're just trying to make money for the sake of making money, because 10K seems like a really nice number, but you have no idea what you would do with it, it's not going to happen. So create a money plan for yourself. If I make X a month, this is what I'm going to do in month 1. This is what I'm going to do in month 2. This is what I'm going to do in month 3. And you create this consistent income that is way higher than what you're making at the moment. And you've got a plan for the money. And money will come because money loves the plan. And it loves clarity as well. Right, so final one is the overgiving block. Again, it's a very common one in women. And if you're like me, so I had this one massive block for me. It was huge. I would go shopping and I would come back with things for my husband, my daughter, my dog, but not for myself. Because for me, it was all about giving to other people, never giving to myself. Taking time off from the business was huge for me. I couldn't do it because I felt like I'm letting everyone down. The only person I was letting down was myself, and I wasn't seeing it. When you're working for free, when you're doing a lot for free, and when you're struggling to charge people for it, when, again, being affordable and not valuing your own time, over giving to people, when you're creating a product or a service and you put absolutely everything in it, including the kitchen sink, this is you over giving. This is you creating an overwhelm for your clients. It's not a good thing to do. But you need to clear it for yourself first, because your clients will not know. They would expect that this is what they have to do. You have to work on yourself first. It all starts with you. So this leads to burnout and overwhelm very often, because you're trying to be everything for everyone and you're forgetting about yourself. The things that you can do to overcome this is give back to yourself first. Make sure that in your weekly goals, if you plan your goals on a weekly basis, there is one goal that is for you. Take some time off. Take some time out of the business. Go for a swim, go for a walk. Do something every day that is purely for yourself. Just for yourself, no one else, just for you. I always say to my clients, again, use a money jar or use a bank account separate that is called Joy. And put money aside every time you are being paid by your clients. Put some money aside and use this money at the end of the month on you. Not on your kids, not on your husband, on you. If something nice for you means a dinner out with your husband, that's fine, but make sure he doesn't go on his own and you just pay for it. If it means treating yourself to a new dress, go for it. Something that will make you really, really happy, because money loves when people are happy, and more money will come your way if you're happy about the money you're making and if you're happy about money you're spending on yourself. This is so important, guys. I cannot stress this enough, but most people just ignore it. They forget about themselves in their business and in their life, and that's not the way to go. Let's face it, that's not the way to go. The final thing is catch the negative emotions, thoughts, and reframe them. And I think I've commented on someone else's post the other day here about reframing what things mean to them. Reframe your blocks. Oh my God, see? Something is, the energy is clearing, obviously, coming through my throat. Reframe the blocks that you've got at the moment. Reframe the things that you catch yourself saying to yourself out loud or in your head. See, the ones in your head are actually worse than the ones out loud, because when you say things out loud, it becomes reality and you are more aware of it. If you say things to yourself in your head and they are not out there in the world, you don't always perceive them as true. And that's why I very much encourage journaling. I very much encourage people to talk about things. That's why the group is I can't even speak anymore. That's why the group is called Let's Talk About Money, because talking about money should be an easy thing to do, should be an enjoyable thing to do. And only by talking we can create more of it. If we stay away from money, if we hide, if we don't want to talk about it, how do you expect more money to come your way? Money is like a good friend to you, right? If you love it, it will come your way. If you don't like it, it will stay away from you. Why would you want to hang out with someone that doesn't like it? I'm being very dramatic here, but you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. So those are the 5 blocks that I've just mentioned. Let me know if you've got any questions, any comments. Let me know what you thought. Did you think you've got any of them? Do you think you've got some of them are stronger, some of them are weaker for you? You might have all of them at different levels. So it might be that, the value block will be through the roof and actually the overflow will be really, really low, which is normal. It's absolutely fine. It's knowing where you are. It's taking stock at the moment, understanding what your position is, where you are, and what can you do about it. Phew, that was a lot of talking. Let me know if you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you got away from it. And actually let me know what will be your actions going forward. What will you do now that will change your relationship with money and your money confidence, because they are both so important, so important. I'm seeing how my money confidence and my money relationship works with my daughter. How my relationship with money, which improved massively recently, is improving my daughter's relationship with money. It's so easy to watch. So easy to watch with kids because they are like sponges. I'll give you one example before I go. My daughter and her friend, we were out for a walk one day, and my daughter said they were talking about a belt for a bag that is a designer bag. So both of them are 12, right? TikTok video about a belt that is so expensive, apparently £3,000. And my daughter says, yeah, I'll get it one day. And her friend was like, who would pay £3,000 for a belt? Who even has got this kind of money? And I started laughing. I couldn't stop it, because for me it was like, right, you two, obviously I brought up with a totally different money mindset. And I absolutely love how my daughter reacted, because for her, there's no limits. She just wants things, she desires things, and the things are showing up in her world, in her life. And she's a manifesting generator in human design, if you're into human design at all. So she gets things, basically, what she wants, which is very, very interesting. But watch what you're saying when your kids are around. Watch what you're saying to yourself, to your kids about money, because you can create a better life for them if you are good with money yourself. For me, I think that was the biggest motivator for me to work on my money mindset, to create a reality for my daughter that is better than mine when it comes to financials, at least when we started. Right, I can't see the comments anymore. For some reason, my phone doesn't allow me to scroll. But what I'll do, I'll stop the video, I'll finish the live, and I'll go back to them and I'll comment. And if there's anything that I need to explain kind of a bit more in details, I will do it in another live. Okay, it was a pleasure. I loved it, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.